Hi everyone, happy Friday. Welcome back to another weekly budget with me. We're going to budget out my husband's paycheck that he received here on the 22nd. So we're budgeting out basically our week. We do our week as paycheck to paycheck instead of saying Sunday to Monday or whatever. So we the 22nd through the 28th. So we're going to budget out this week. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I had to change earlier in the budget. You may have noticed a few of my last videos were pre-scheduled out, and that's because I was in Las Vegas from Wednesday to Sunday for the travel conference that I went to. It was amazing. So much information. I got to meet the owners of the host agency that I belong to, and probably about 30 the other independent contractors who work under that host agency as well. So it was pretty fun. A lot of great food. It was held at Caesar's Palace over there in Las Vegas. My best friend Vicky and her husband came, and we basically rented like a little townhouse thing. So it was a 3-bedroom townhouse, and they watched my girls while I was I was basically there from 7 in the morning till like 8 at night. So they were long days. So I did not post anything yesterday. I was still kind of decompressing from everything. And right before we left, we got approved. We got that pre-qualification letter to start shopping for a house. So we actually found a house. We put an offer on a house on Tuesday, kind of waiting back. It sounds like they're probably going to do a counter offer. So I'm literally just waiting to hear what's going to happen. So if everything goes as planned, if we come to an agreement or they accept our offer, whatever that ends up being, then we'll be closing July 23rd. So we'll be able to get into the new house just in time for Arcadia to start school on August 2nd, which is what the goal is. So we've had a lot going on this week. So I'm still trying to kind of like get back into a routine that doesn't involve a 13-hour day, I guess. So that's just a real quick brief update of what was going on with that. So real quick, what happened over here with these paychecks? Ricky's cell phone completely, so he was having issues with this phone before where he couldn't talk on it anymore, like you couldn't hear him or he couldn't hear you on there anymore. So the only way he could use his phone was through his headset, his Bluetooth headset. Well, then the day before I left, or almost the day before I left for Las Vegas, he came home and the front screen was completely cracked, like shattered. So to us that was kind of an emergency because I was going to Las Vegas the very next day. He was here in Arizona. We have to communicate. We have to be able to have a means of communication. And he was supposed to fly. He flew out to Las Vegas that Friday night. Now we don't go. We don't have iPhones or anything like that. So we were able to get him a phone for pretty cheap. Between the phone and the activation fee and the new case for the phone, we ended up spending like $113. So if I come down here real quick, so Ricky's phone, ended up being with his normal monthly payment of $35, and then getting the new phone was $148. So instead of putting money, we did not put any money into the savings that week because we did that. In addition, I did end up buying the girls 2 new outfits before we went to Vegas. If you guys aren't familiar with these videos, like I said, I budget out the week based off of, I've changed this, so now I have Ricky's income before taxes, and then I go ahead and document like his 401k that comes out before taxes, and then I have on here the taxes that come out, and then I go into our regular budget. As it's budgeted ahead of time, everything's in red. Once it's being worked, so it means like there's still money in the bank, it's orange, but it's it's dedicated to something. And then once it's officially spent or officially out of our accounts and it's in a savings account, then it's black. So we know that's money that we're just not even working with right now. Real quick, I'm going to jump on Ricky's pay stub here. He did get the overtime, which is nice. So basically, his base pay is $680, and then he had 10 hours of overtime. So for that, the 401k, 3% before that is the $28.05, and that's what it was. Now, I do need to make some changes here on the tax withholding. So he did end up having slightly a little bit higher than I was anticipating, so I'm going to adjust that for this paycheck, and I'm going to adjust it for the 29th, since most likely these paychecks should be pretty similar. So I'm just going to jump onto his pay stub really quick here. All right, so federal 464. Okay, so federal ended up being $4.60. So this one ended up being $16.33. 13.56 being 57.97. All right, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and adjust that. So these are black because that's automatically deducted out of the paycheck. So that's gone and paid. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, budgeting for the next week here, just so I have a better idea. So this is the first time that I'm started doing this. This is the first month that I started doing this. So we'll kind of just see, you know, if there hopefully is a good pattern to give me a better idea. So I already know because these were off by a few dollars that our savings is going to be a little lower. So I'm just going to subtract that out real quick, and then I can look in the bottom and see what will go in there. So primarily out of this paycheck is basically just making sure that we have money, you know, half of our rent put aside. Also, like I mentioned, so if we end up closing on the house July 23rd, our first mortgage payment will not be until about the middle of September, which falls perfectly because our lease is up in September. At the end of September, our lease is up here in the apartment. So we won't have too much of an overlap. I wasn't sure we would have to use, you know, maybe a month's worth of rent out of our savings account to cover our last month here. We're not going to have to do that. We'll be able to just cash flow everything as if we just never got an extra month. Basically, it'll look like we just had a payment every month of the year, as opposed to having a few months without something, because, you know, we'll be paying for the apartment, you know, for 2 months while we're moving into the house. But that's okay. So basically, we'll need $450.78 from this paycheck to make sure we put aside for our rent, and that's going to go in here, my necessities checking account. So that's transferred to the necessities there, and then I go ahead and make this orange because that's money in the account that's there waiting to be spent. So I'm going to come down here. Same thing here. These are this is family life insurance. This was out of his paycheck automatically. That was the right amount. And then the long-term disability was off. So that actually ended up being $337. Now the life insurance, that stays the same no matter what his paycheck amount is, whereas the long-term disability does fluctuate with his pay. So if he makes more, you can see here as he makes more, he gets charged slightly more. So I'm going to adjust next week's paycheck for that as well. We're not doing any more fun. Like I mentioned, we did go to Vegas, so we did end up going over slightly. We ended up spending $211 total. In there also, we ended up spending an extra $53. So while we were in Vegas, it was Father's Day, and then our friend who was there helping, his birthday was the day after Father's Day, and then obviously, you know, my friend Vicky for them helping out. So we ended up going, the last day before we drove home, we ended up going to one of those, like, the brunch buffet at Aria, I believe was the casino or the hotel that we went to, and you know, they had the crab legs and seafood, mussels, and then all your regular stuff. It was really good. So basically, just treated, you know, Ricky, Louie, and Vicky treated them to the buffet as their, you know, their present or their thank you and all of that. So that was really nice. We took the girls to the Mirage, and they got to see the dolphins and the tigers over there. I tried filming a little bit while I was there, but honestly, I was just so immersed in this convention and all the classes and all of the seminars and everything that we went to and all the events that we did that I kind of just stopped filming because I just couldn't get any type of storyline or anything going. It was just kind of random stuff. I did film the dolphins and stuff though, so I'm probably going to just put together a little thing for the girls, and I may share it on this channel, or I may not. I know Arcadia wants to start her own channel, so I may share it on her channel, but I don't know. We'll see. It was cool. And then one of the tigers, it was funny because he tried to pee on us, and I got that on camera. So it might be fun to watch. We'll see. But anyways, okay. All right, so I need to adjust both of these, like I mentioned. So I'm going to come down to the bottom and see what's left, and then I'll go over here what we still have left to clear here in a minute. Okay, so $354.71. So I have $354.71. So this will just get added over to the savings account. Now over here, I just want to show real quick. So you guys mentioned my income account. That's where the money goes into, and we keep things like grocery money and gas money and the girls' money pretty much in the income account, so we can keep it separate from our bills that have due dates and that come out automatically. And this just prevents us from accidentally spending our bill money and having overdraft or something like that. So it's been working out really good for us. So our necessities money, this is what includes, like I said, we have the portion of rent. We still have the electricity that doesn't come out yet. We still have our car insurance and our motorcycle insurance that has not come out yet. So that money's just hanging out there. We always have everything. We try to budget it out where it's in this necessities account anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks before it's actually due. And again, that prevents us from not having the money in there in time. So in the income account, you can see we still have $128 towards groceries. We still have $74 towards gas. And then we have Arcadia and Elsa's commission job money. And then if you notice up here, we have $500 from the down payment savings in there. So because we put an offer on a house, we put in the offer that we would put $500 earnest money, which is basically kind of like a holding deposit, just saying like we're serious about buying the house and all that stuff. And then that money gets applied towards the down payment once we head into closing. So again, we are just waiting. It's a little nerve-wracking. So as of right now, we're the only offer on this house. And in Arizona right now, like houses are going like so fast that you have to be the first offer to even get anything. So I have a good feeling about it because we're basically the only offer still. But like I mentioned, my realtor did speak to them yesterday, and it sounds like they're going to come back with a counter offer. So today, they said, we'll have something. We should have an answer or a counter offer in writing, something like that, by 3 o'clock. So we're just kind of hanging tight and we're waiting. So I'll keep you updated on that. Same thing. We've been looking at so many houses that I haven't even filmed the houses because some of these houses, like literally, like you walk in the door, you do a lap around, and you walk out because no, too much work, or it's not what we're looking for. Like you kind of just know. I am going to make a video for you guys though of how I've been researching these properties, like before we physically go look at them. So I'll do that and I'll share with you on my screen how I've been doing that. Ricky agreed to sit down and do a video with me. It's been a long time since he's been on the channel, and we're going to talk about the things that we are looking for in a house. What are some of the criteria that we have. So expect at least those 2 videos, maybe another video going over how the whole getting approved process went, what was required, like what documents were required and all of that. So we have a few videos pertaining to the house thing, and then obviously, like I said, once we get into the house, I'm going to give you guys a tour of the house before we move any furniture in. So yeah, wish us luck, you guys. Fingers crossed. I think it's the one. Yeah, super excited. Super excited. Big things happening. Big things happening. So yeah, you guys, that's the budget for this week. Not a whole lot going on. Like I said, it's pretty much everything's just going towards rent, and then we have some extra money to put into our savings. And then I just had to adjust some things for the rest of the month, and that was pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I'm going to be sharing comments and questions from our budget videos throughout the month on the June budget report card video. So if you want to share anything or if you want to ask anything, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!